Welcome back to part number 8 of my Imperator role playthrough as Carthage. I have these mercs. We just finished a war over here, securing some territory. They are reorganizing here in, what is the name of that? Laconia. And they're getting there. They're not particularly well along the path, but some of them are close to where they could be utilized. This one, for instance, is fully... is finished essentially, except, well, we'll still keep him on because he needs to recover his archers. This unit is feeling fairly well. I don't need to reorganize really. In fact, can probably move him over here for deployment. I was thinking a claim just hit on Larissa, and we can take that over before someone else does. That will also trigger his friends here. I think there's one here, as well as here. So that shouldn't be a problem, and we can get them off the books before someone else takes them, and then we'll have to take the war score off of them. Along those lines, I headed back over here and called up under the Numidian levy, as well as the Carthaginian or African levy. I head over here to Magna Graecia and grab that levy as well. And we may well continue exactly where, I'm not sure, perhaps. Well, I spent, in between the episodes, I did some colonization up here. I moved a bunch of pops. Essentially, just clicked on the capital of any given territory. And for the first time this game, I haven't touched really any sort of pop movement in just all the territories. So I clicked on the pop capital. Made sure it was a city, and if it wasn't, I moved the capital there, and then moved any and all punics to the capital and or as appropriate. There are quite a few of them about. It should give us a higher levy count and keep our research rate perhaps pegged at 175. Speaking of that, we need one more innovation here, and then we'll get 25% bonus. Hopefully we'll peg at 200 as well. I boarded these levies. I took the 3 levies were here. I have this mostly reorganized merc here. He's going to move here. I'm going to unload here and assault that. This merc will assault that. I'll deoccupy this, get back on the fleet, go up here and assault this fort and end the war, and then begin to reorganize in our new territory. These units are in such a state that they're going to need to reorganize anyway, and hopefully they'll all reorganize and get to full strength at about the same time, at which point we may go off and attack the Bosporan Kingdom. There it is. Boom. Drop that siege. Let's get back on the fleet and head up here. Let's assault that as well. We drop that, head back here and reorganize. It's something, I'll take it. We drop that fort there as well. And that should do it for this war once all that occupies. 51 war score and 2 AE later. Boom. Holy moly, why is this guy not... oh, he's not a great family man, I see. I'm going to do the theater temple thing here and check out our new lands here as well. Dealing with these barbarians here. It would seem that while I was away just for a moment, these guys all essentially topped out. So let's take you off of reorg. Let's condense here. We'll get on board the fleet and we're going to head over toward the Bosporan Kingdom. I think these guys should be done as well. They are, yeah. I wonder if we're going to run out of capacity. Let's get these guys to this port. I think we can carry them all. We have enough. Yeah. I am certainly going to take the stability. We had a government changeover and we lost some stability there. Well, it would seem as though I finally have a Civil War marker that I can't really just sort of click and make go away. All of the family heads are now populists. I've been trying to avoid populists as I don't place them in any offices. Usually it doesn't matter other than Now it does, because the traditionalists are less than adequately happy, because neither Safet is a traditionalist. These guys are not really all that bad at various things. Gisco, could place her as a researcher. Bodona, well, maybe we'll just bribe him and be done with it. And then this fellow here wouldn't be a bad researcher either, I suppose. Well, there's one. We'll place him down. He seems decent at what he does. Is he happy now? We'll make him even happier, or we'll just leave him be. So he should be off the list now. We still have... Why is he still on the list, though? The wrong guy. She's the one there. So let's see. She should be off the list. But it's still just barely over the top. Let's see if we have... This guy is how old? 75. And the Bodana, 60 some odd. And I'll bribe the 75-year-old. Maybe he'll expire or something. Problem solved. Okay, so where was I? We were condensing all these pops. We were ready to get on board and head up here. We're here, let's do it. They're all on board. We're going to head up here. We're here. We can't do it. We can't do it. Something at that election cost us. Well, when in Rome, or when life serves you up lemons, you make some lemonade, I suppose, or vice versa. So I guess we'll go and stand down, burn down some AE, and keep our stability high. Holy moly, a full-on invasion here. I was thinking this chariot guy is really nothing much to write home about. We're gonna just dismiss him and go on his way. Drop a couple of these guys on Merc Island and then head up to deal with that barbarian invasion. I was thinking this could act as a Merc Island Part 2 or whatnot. Sometimes these guys, it gets sort of tedious to shuffle through, so I'm gonna place some of them here on melee as well. Glorious Wonder is completed. Honored slaves, citizens, and freemen. So we're at 375 presently. Let's see what that does for us. 402. I think we should take this invasion on morale. Uh-oh. We've been defeated instead. Oh well. I'll hire this merc and deal with him. Set this bar back here. We'll take this one out as well. I never took our research rate. We need to lock that in immediately. The question I have is, what are we going to do with all this money now? I don't really have a particularly good answer. I suppose we've got to get our stability above 55 to make these guys a bit happier. With this ensure calm, we'll get 10 approval. But I guess we just have to wait it out and I suppose build stuff, which would be... shuffle pops about, maybe build a few cities. Actually, I know exactly what I'll do with the money. There are a fair number of pops about in the... most of these pops have been consolidated here and or in the capital, which is getting a fairly sizable number. It has a 1,200 or so pops. And they have been... they're not here. But once you pass this line, you start running into more and more pops just sort of mulling about in the countryside here, especially so. I suppose I could build a city here, or just move these pops up into these cities and torque them out as large as I can possibly get them with aqueducts here, here, here and beyond, and sort of get ready to condense all the pops from Iberia into these cities, or some of the pops from Iberia, so that the loyalties and such don't crater once Baal Safan integrates in 8 years or something like that. I'm gonna build aqueducts is what I'm gonna do. So let's see what the situation in here is, and I can use it as a template for essentially everything else. A granary, I don't need one. Everything else is essentially in order, so I'll just click this button a bunch of times. Rinse that, repeat right down the coast here. Let's see what you have. You have a port. Ports are not bad. We'll go 5 aqueducts there. Let's see what we have here. We don't need that library. I'm not sure that we need a port. We don't really know. We'll have this. On we go. We don't need a port there either, really. Some of these cities in Iberia are in need of temples. I haven't built temples in some of the areas as I didn't really have that much money to spare. Apparently I do, though. I may as well colonize up here next to these tribes. Maybe they'll buy some of our stuff. We have a fair clip of provenances with downticks. I'm wondering really if it could be a decent idea to, even with our new wonders that came online, we have the noble, citizen, and freeman. Most of these, actually this is a highly urbanized province. It just has a negative tick from I think 10% population malice I took. A lot of these look to be just in the middle of nowhere, sort of. Let's see what can be done with national ideas. I think I don't need the money, so I'm going to use take the provincial loyalty here for 0.04. And that should help, but let's see these ideas as well. In theory, perhaps we could do away with this ordered retreat, as we have our wonder here that gives us 15%, and it'll rise to 20 at some point, but 15 is more than we've had the entire game, and we did all right the entire game. So, why should we won't. We can change that out for provincial loyalty, I believe, here. Boom. So that's plus 0.09 uptick. We could even change this out, perhaps. So all those were red, and the month ticked over, and now a lot of them are either green. Yeah. Well, they're not all red anymore, that's what we know. And as we get further down the list, in theory... Wow, that's okay. So we need even more. Either that or this is something we just took over. It is, yeah. This roads, that's we raised their city there. They're agitated about it. Alright, Thrace is no longer allied with Egypt, and they're at war with the Bosporan Kingdom now. Why I care, I don't really know. We can't do anything about it, so we'll just wait. We also have a tradition that we can take. We'll hit the Roman tradition here. I think there's some innovations we can get here. We'll take siege ability there as well. Why not take that right now? Why should I, though? I'm going to colonize out here while the colonizing is good. We have a lot of money. Why not do it? So I just recently colonized this, and it looks to have a positive tick, mostly because we have our omen, as well as that 0.5 tick from our national idea we just set. So why not continue to colonize? It's mostly happy, and when these guys turn Canaanite, it'll be very much so. Well, there it is. We'll see if our income goes up at all. 3 months, it's gone up by about 9 points. A couple of people just died. It seems as though everyone is a Democrat, either that or... I think I have all of our people out as governors. I think that's what it is, yeah. Perhaps I have to start using minor characters as governors. The situation really is not much better. If I sort by charisma and take a look here, I go down the list until I don't find a Democrat. She's already a researcher. And then we have her. She has an office. Democrat. And then you, you're a governor, but he's 65, so he wouldn't be very good by the time he'll expire before he becomes very good. So, oh well. Every single seat is a Democrat. We've got to get these family heads under control. Every single last stinking one of them is a Democrat. I'm gonna smear their reputation. because they're mad. One of them just died off, thank goodness. We have a traditionalist as head of the Hiraman family. I'll take 5 stability. The aqueducts are going up. I'll take 40 PI. We'll take stability, surely. I've been moving pops quietly with all my money, and there's quite a bit of it, into these various cities. I have quite a few aqueducts and whatnot going up. They're mostly Punic at this point because we've had these cities for so very long that, and these temples and theaters in every single one of them has been doing wonders for the relative primary religion and culture presentation. So we have 38 Punics, and essentially at this point I can just move whoever there from wherever, and is essentially what I've been doing. I just evacuated this province here up into these cities. I need to find some place to do something to do with these guys. I don't want to build a city way out here, so I'll probably end up moving them here, or even here maybe. The Senate support is still really bad. There's a lot of Democrats in office. Well, maybe we needed to stand down anyway. This game is a strange presentation. I've been thinking on ways to go forward here, and this is, we'll just leave them be, they'll buy our stuff. We can bounce from Bosporan to Asian to Egypt to Thrace to maybe the Seleucid. If we, take militant Epicureanism, we can keep our stability relatively high, and probably even bounce into the Seleucid Empire at some point and get them in the loop. That's something to think on, I suppose, while we wait for our Senate support to come back up. Shouldn't there be a prominent senator assassinated event that comes up? Also, I think the Marian reforms require Tech 14, Miltech 14. Who are you? Yeah, she has a chance of a breakthrough, but that doesn't... I have a 15 man here. I wonder, like this guy, for instance, where is he? I don't think he's doing anything. So if I place him into that office, there he is. We'll plop him down and get to 14 sooner. A traditionalist was just elected into office. Let's see if he has his partner there. I see. I'm gonna smear this reputation here. We'll do it again. It looks as though we can, let's see, we can kick Bodana out of office. He's the co-Safet, so let's try that and see. I see. A couple of one of our researchers just died. It looks as though someone else has died along the way. So there are only 2 great family heads that are. And it's not doing much any good in the near term. We found a new man here with obsessive and an oligarch with a 9. Good for us. So that makes exactly no one who's a Democrat in office. I think at least. Yep. Nobody. So I just spent a lot of gold, but I did manage to evacuate all the pops that could be moved from here. They reside in these fairly large cities now, and then have quite a few aqueducts. This one can build, we'll build more just because. These are growing as well, so they should be able to accommodate much of the pop growth, and I'll take the national pop growth from here on out, as there are so few pops here that by default they must at some point, they will become Punic and Canaanites, so they'll grow Punic and Canaanites as well. As for these areas, there's quite a bit of capacity, and let's see, you're still integrating 549, it's about 5 years out. We'll need to accommodate these pops somewhere, at least in theory. He has 2 glorious cities, 1 and 2, so we'll see what happens. I'm going to take this 6 stability. I turned the machine off, turned it back on, and it looks as though, well, the Civil War popped up and I had to place the head of the family, Gisco, here in a research position. So we have traditionalists are gaining and the Democrats are in retreat, and our Senate support is back. Our Senate support is back. I need to take care of these barbarians. I have this merc to take care of this barbarian because our legions our levies are woefully inadequate here. I built out to the fleet. I bet that we could hire this guy and not 56 is nothing really. We could probably hire him and do some serious damage over what is this now? Thrace and Egypt. There's probably not really ever been a better time to declare war on Thrace, as he's busy with Egypt and probably low on manpower. The question is, can we get there soon enough? The question is what exactly we want with Thrace. I can tell you exactly what we want with Egypt. Ionia, which would be the residence of the Temple of Artemis, which gives us a 0.08 tick up and a 25% bonus to our religious tech. I wonder if this merc is still hiding here somewhere. I would have sworn this was it, but this is our merc here from all of these cities that we built in the province of, or the region of Mauritania there, specifically this city cluster. Anyway, I'll probably hire him. He's here. I'm still looking for the Egypt or Alexandria merc. There's another merc of ours, 30k. There he is. 12-man, 30k right there in Alexandria. I'm going to go and snag him and move him to Merc Island. Actually, I was thinking maybe we hire him. Get him moraled up and hire you. Actually, we don't need to morale him up, as it's going to be a while to get these guys actioned for our upcoming war against Egypt. Let's see here. We've got a small stack, and then we've got these guys that are on Merc Island now, or one of the two Merc Islands. So let's just get these guys moving along the coast here. And let's see. We're going to need 120 ships for that. And another, say, 120 for that. So that's going to be, actually, do we have any larger? This guy is pretty bad. Is this skill of 4? But there's just so many of them. As opposed to our Maggot Merc here on Merc Island, he has 45. No, I'm going to go with the big one. We're going to hire him as well. And then I'm going to swing over. Actually, I'm going to send 150 down here to pick up the merc and then hire him, and the rest to grab these mercs here. I'm also going to build some more ships. Let's get these ships on the way over here to pick up these mercs. Actually, it's going to be a while. We'll go here. There he is. Let's recruit him. There's the entirety of the Egyptian fleet. Not bad, but a little small relative to our force count. I'm going to drop this guy and get him reorganizing here on Crete. We have a civics advance. I like the sound of this assault ability, 5%. I'm going to take it. I'm ferrying 3 large mercs and half the levy of Africa. With this fleet, I have the other fleet on the way back, building out more. I'm going to pick up the levy of Magna Graecia and the levy of Numidia as well, and get them involved in the fray. Still at 200%. Yeah, we are positioned mildly properly. We're sort of ready, but we could be better positioned. But I'm not inclined to wait. We're going to figure it out as we go and deploy as needed. So we're going to attack right now. That seems a decent enough time to end the episode. We'll continue to orchestrate the war proper in part 9. I hope to see you then.